everyone, welcome to our channel Knowledge Hub. Friends, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for the latest update. आज हम लोग जो क्लास करने वाले हैं वो वेब टेक्नोलॉजीज़ की क्लास करने वाले हैं, जो कि क्लास नंबर आपका 19 है। ऑलरेडी हम 18 क्लासेस कर चुके हैं। लास्ट क्लास हमने जो डिस्कस किया था उसमें हमने यूनिट 5 का सर्वलेट पार्ट कंप्लीट कर लिया था एंड जेएसपी स्टार्ट भी कर दिया था, दैट इज़ योर जावा सर्वर पेज। एंड यूनिट 5 जो कि सर्वलेट एंड जेएसपी, दिस इज़ द लास्ट यूनिट एंड होपफुली ये आपका वेब टेक्नोलॉजी का भी लास्ट क्लास है। इससे पहले जो हमने डिस्कस किया था वो यूनिट 1 डिस्कस किया है, जो कि इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट था। एंड यूनिट 2 जो है वो हमने दैट इज़ HTML CSS एंड योर XML डिस्कस किया है। एंड यूनिट 3 में हमने स्क्रिप्टिंग एंड नेटवर्किंग पूरा डिस्कस किया है। एंड यूनिट 4 में हमने EJB एंड JDBC डिस्कस किया है। यूनिट 5 जो कि हम अभी कर भी रहे हैं और इसको हमने 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है, सर्वलेट और जेएसपी। सर्वलेट कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं, जेएसपी होपफुली आज के क्लास में हम कंप्लीट करेंगे और ये यूनिट भी कंप्लीट करेंगे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इट्स अ ह्यूज रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड, प्लीज़ गो थ्रू विद द सब्सक्राइब बटन एंड प्लीज़ लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब अवर चैनल so that maximum and people get this video and you can share those videos as well. So now will you get start with custom tag libraries. Today's we'll start with the custom tag libraries. So in the custom tag libraries, first of all, thanks to all the subscribers, those who had subscribed to our channel, because we had reached 2k subscribers, and thanks for that. And please support as you had supported before. And now we'll start with the custom tag libraries here, and we will discuss, we can ask you about the explain the concept of JSP custom tag libraries. In the JSP custom tag libraries, you have to understand what is custom tag libraries, the concept of custom tag libraries, then only you can answer all these questions. And with regard of it, the tag extension in a is a new feature available in JSP 1.1, and that is, it is also called as the custom tag. And the tag extensions allows the authors to add their own custom tags and that perform the custom action as well. In the same case, the tag extensions are similar to the HTML or XML tags, which are embedded in the JSP page, and these tags have some spatial meaning to a JSP engine at a translation time, and these tags helps to invoke the application functionality without the embedding the Java code in the JSP. In the regard of it, the developers can add their own custom actions using the tagging extension by the help of tagging extension API. And in the regard of the custom tag here, that the developer write a Java class that implements one of the tag interfaces and provide the tag library, that is XML a description file, and that specifies the tag and the Java classes that implement the tag as well. Now we'll discuss about that the JSTL code tags and explain the 4 with example as well. So we'll go ahead with the deep, and here we'll discuss moreover, because there are 12 tags that are used in the code library, so that we'll discuss here. In the regard of it, the various tags here we'll discuss about various, as I told you, about various tags used that is used in core library. So that we'll discuss here. There are 12 and that are as follows. Like the first, we have the core tag as your, that is c.out. The first one. The second we have is your, that is your c set. Then the third one is your c if. The fourth is c choose. The fifth we have is your c when. The sixth is your c otherwise. Then seventh we have as your c for each. The eighth we have here is your c for token. And then of course the ninth we have is your C URL. Then the 10th we have is your C redirect, and the 11th we have is your C param, and 12th we have here is your C import. So here we'll discuss one of each and every one in a with an example. And the first we'll discuss about the code tag for displaying the output, that is C out tag as well. And we will discuss about the C out, what how we will use, because they had told about explain any 4 with example, because there are 12, so you can give an example of all the 12. And if you are able to do that, you can just comment it on, and if you are not able to that, then also you can comment it on. We'll provide you that as well, how they are used. But some of the one we'll use, so we'll do C out and CF, and some of them कोई भी कर सकते हैं, like C out कर लिया, CF कर लिया, ओके, इन द रिगार्ड ऑफ इट. और हम लोग कर सकते हैं नेक्स्ट, जस्ट लाइक फॉर द केस अगर मैं बात करती हूँ तो सी यू आर एल कर ले रहे हैं, सी फॉर ईच कर टैग दैट वी आर यूजिंग, एंड उसमें इसके हिसाब से आप बहुत सारे टैग्स और भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज दैट इज़ हेयर. So starting with the code tag for the displaying the output here, the first one we are using code tag for displaying output, that is your C out tag. So here we'll start with that as well. Since at the rate page content type equals to text HTML percent sign, then after that percent at the rate tag lib prefix equals to C URL equals to http :/java sun .com/jsp/jstl/ and then of course the code, and then inverted comma percent sign and equals to, then we have an HTML, then HTML. After that we have a body BG, that is body BG color equals to pink. Okay, you can take any other color as well. The form method equals to post action equals to second.jsp select name equals to combo 1 option value, that is select. Then after that we have here, that is your option value equals to apple was apple, option value with option value, that is equals to mango and mango. Then again we have an option value, that is equals to banana. That is banana. Then of course we have an option, another value, we take it as guava. That is guava, and where it is guava as well. Now we had opened a select tag here, so we'll close that select tag. Then input type, equals to submit value, that is equals to enter. And then after that we'll close the form tag, and after that we have a cset, that is your variable, equals to fruit, and value equals to dollar, that is your param dot combo 1. Then we have here is your closing tag. Then after that, see out, what we have to represent here, see out value equals to dollar fruit backslash here. So this is all that where we are representing the core tag for displaying the output, that is cout tag we had used here. Now we'll start with the another one, that is the conditional statement, a cf tag here. For the second one we have here is your the conditional statement, that is cf tag, that we'll use here. The first we have is your the %@ page content type, that is equals to text/html, and after that the %@ tag left prefix equals to c URI equals to http java.sun.com/jsp/gsp/core%. Then we have start with HTML. After that, body bg color equals to pink. Then form method equals to post action equals to third JSP. Then select name, and then for the select name, that is equals to combo 1. Then we have an option value equals to, that is select, then option value equals to apple, that is apple, option value equals to mango, then select tag close. input type equals to submit value, enter, form tag close. After that, start with the cset var equals to, that is fruit value equals to dollar, and that is param dot combo 1. Then after that, here we will be gone ahead here, that is after this, that will be in the form of, like we had done in the condition tag here. So this is very different. It for that we'll use the if, as I told you about the see if statement. So that we will be using here. So in that we'll use say if as well. Say if test equals to dollar fruit equals to apple, then I like strong, that is your C out value equals to dollar fruit, and that backslash, this is a strong, that the strong we had open here, that we have to close the tag. This is very much. Okay, so we'll close the C if tag, and after that we'll start with the C if tag as another one, that is this is for an apple, and now we'll go for mango as well. So here that is say if test, that is equals to dollar fruit equals to mango, then we have I like strong, then of course C out value, that is equals to dollar, then fruit backslash this. So here we'll go ahead with another one, and that is your will close the CF tag, and then BR tag, then body tag closing, and of course the HTML tag will close that. So this is all that what we have to do it in the second tag. And now we'll discuss about the third tag, and that you know very well, that is for redirecting to this desired web pages. Your URL tag we will use for that. I just write it down, for redirecting to desired web page, that is your C URL. This is the tag, and here the tag C URL as a name suggests that this tag is used to navigate the desired page using the URL. So for example, for this we'll take an example, and for that we'll be writing it out as your the @ page content type, that is equals to text/HTML percent, and then that is your @ taglib prefix equals to C URI equals to HTTP, that is your http://java dot sum dot com slash JSP slash JSTL and slash core. Now for that we have an HTML tag, then body tag, then C import URI equals to my page dot HTML, then C out value equals to thank you for using this demo, then body tag close and HTML tag close. This is all for redirecting the desired web page while we are using the CURI URL tag. Now we'll discuss for the fourth one and the last one here in the reference asset. तो 12 है as I told you, but अभी 4 ही discuss करेंगे because they can maximum they can ask 4 तो 4 है, but at last वो आपको पूरे आने चाहिए क्योंकि उनका पता नहीं कि 4 पूछ ले या 5 पूछ ले, but at last आपको 4 तो कम से कम आना चाहिए. For denoting the looping condition, that is C for each tag. Okay, so that we'll do it. For denoting looping condition, that is for each tag. So this is here this tag is specially used to denote the looping condition. Following code should be demonstrated like we are going to do it. That is your @page content type equals to text slash HTML %, then %, tag left prefix equals to C URI equals to http://java.sam.com/JSP/JSTL/core, and then HTML body, then of course the %, page content, that is page content dot set attribute, that is fruits, new string, then that is your apple, mango, banana and guava. Now after that we have a B tag, that is the various fruits, the various fruits are B tag close, then that is your C for each, the var equals to I item equals to dollar fruit, and var status equals to and BR tag close. Now for the C out value, that is equals to dollar n dot index cout value equals to dollar n dot current and C for each, that is body tag close and HTML tag close as well. Now we'll explain the various tags in GSTL with an example of like core XML. So core tag का हम already use कर चुके हैं, XML tags के लिए हम use करते हैं. XML tags से के साथ साथ आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए, we'll discuss the tags and as well as the purposes as well. So I will be telling you the tags and you will be just write it down the purposes. I will be telling you the purposes as well, but I will not write it down, so you can just, if you are making notes, you can just write it down. If you're not making notes, you can go through with that. Okay, so here we'll start with the tag, and the first tag we have is your, that is your, these various XML tags are listed like that we are talking about. So here the first tag we have is X out. For this, the purposes is that it displays the result of the XPath expression. The second tag we have is your XParse. It is used to parse the XML file. And the next tag we have is your XSet. This is a sets the variable to the XPath expression. The next we have is your XIF. For XIF, the XPath expression is evaluated using the if condition, and if the if condition is true, then the body part is executed, otherwise it is ignored. Next we have is your X for each, and for that it is similar to the for loop, and which loop around the XML nodes here. The next we have is your that is in the case is your that is XChoose. For the XChoose here, that is this tag is used to choose the particular operation when a specific condition gets satisfied. The next we have is your XWhen. And for that purposes is that it is a subtag of the XChoose, and it is used when the condition is true. Next tag we have is your XOtherwise. XOtherwise, it is a subtag of that XChoose, and it is used when the condition is false. And the next tag is your XParam. This tag is used to set the parameter in the XSTL style sheet, and where it is used here. And after that now we'll take a example related to these XML file steps here, so that it will you will get to know okay, how they are implemented, and that we will do it. And for the XML file here, we'll just write it down a sort of a code that we had done for the for the core and for the different four tags we had to use. Now we'll use for the XML file that should be followed, and that we have here is the example we have. Now for that we have first is your person, then student name, that is your path, name tag close. This is the step 1. Okay, I just write it down. Step 1, where the XML file is to be as follows. And after the name tag we have a marks, that is your 70. Okay, and marks tags will be closed. Then student tag, which we had opened here, we'd have to close that. Now for that, after that we'll start with the student tag, another one. So this is for the path. Now for the another student name is, we'll take it as Shilpa, name tag close, then marks 90, marks tag close, then student tag as well as that will be the close as well. Now we will go ahead with the name Sagar. We'll start with the student tag. Name, that is your Sagar, and name tag close. Then we have here that is for the Sagar marks, that is your 40 marks tag close. Then of course the student tag close. Then and again we have a student tag. Name is Shivani. Then of course after the Shivani the name tag close. The marks is 55. Then marks tag close. Student tag as well as close. Person tag as well as that will be close as well. So this is all about the first step. Now we'll discuss about the second step, that is the GSP code to be followed, and that what we will be writing it out, and that is the GSP code, the step 2. So start writing it out. Step 2. So that is the %@ taglet prefix equals to C URI equals to http://java.sun.com/gsp gstl/core, and then after that for the another one, that is your %@taglet prefix URI equals to http://java.sun.com/gsp/gstl/xml %sign, and of course the close the tag as well. Then we have an HTML tag, then head tag, and after that we have a title tag as well, and that is your JSTL XML tag, and that is your demo, and then title tag as well as that will be the close. And for that we have a head tag close, then body tag, h3 tag, that is your student, information, h3 tag as well, close. Then we have C import, that is your C import here, and that is your var equals to stud. Then URI equals to http://127.0/.80/gsp examples/xml demo/person.xml. Now X, that is your X parse, XML equals to $, that is stood, and then after that will be the variable, that is var equals to display. Then B tag, the first record is B tag close, then br tag x dot x select equals to dollar display slash person slash student one slash name backslash this. Then of course br tag another one. Then now after the br tag here that we have is your x out select equals to dollar display slash person slash student one slash marks tag. Then we have br tag then b tag, that is a second record, that is the second record is then br tag x out select equals to dollar display slash person slash student 2 name then br tag. Then after that we have here is your after the second tag that what we had used it, and after that we have x out select, that is display slash person slash student 2 slash marks slash a closing tag, and then after that body tag close, and as well as html tag as well close. After this we have another one that to discuss, that is the write short notes on the SQL tag libraries. I will discuss about SQL tag libraries. So here that for this SQL tag libraries is used to connect to the relational database such as like MySQL, Oracle and so on, and for including this tag the JSP document follows that line must be to be added in the beginning, and that is your that could be used just like in the form, that is your %@ taglib URI equals to http://java.sun.com/gsp/jstl/sql prefix equals to SQL $sign here. So these were the various tag that is of the SQL tag library that I use. So we will make a that is a tag. This is a sort of a table, and the purposes I will be telling you the purposes. If you are making notes you can write it down. If you are not making notes you can just go through with that. Okay. So here the first tag for this SQL tag library we have is your, that is SQL set data source. For this, the purpose is to create a simple data source. You can specify the driver name, username and password for the target database. Now the second B tag we have used is, that is this SQL query. Here this tag is used for specifying the SQL query. The another one we have is your SQL update. For this, using this tag you can insert, delete, update and record the existing database. Now after that we will discuss short questions with their answer that they can ask you. And the question they can ask you is your what are servlets, and that case in accordance of the servlet, that the servlet are a simple Java program that runs on the server, and the servlet are used along with the HTTP protocol, and hence sometimes they are also referred to as HTTP servlet, and servlet make use of the standard package such as javax.servlet and the javax.servlet.http. And now they can ask you list any three advantages of Java servlet over JSP. So following are the three advantages of the Java servlet. That is, the Java's first is the Java servlet contain a pure Java code and there is no mixing of HTML tag. The second is your Java servlet execute the faster than JSP. The third is that the servlet that can act as a model view of the controller, all the same all at the same time. It can handle a different dynamic page. And they can ask you what is the use of the web config file in the servlet creation. You can answer that the web config file specifies that the configuration of the web application and the URL for the servlet that can be specified using the web config file. It is an XML file using usually located in a web INF folder. The next question they can ask you is your what is the HTTP servlet. So the HTTP servlet are nothing but the servlet only, and as the servlet are commonly used with the HTTP, that is your hypertext transfer protocol, they are also called HTTP servlet as well. The next they can ask you is you name the two packages for which most of the servlet classes can be used. So you can answer that the javax.servlet or the javax.servlet.http are the two packages from the classes that are using here. So I just write it down for that. Javax.servlet and javax.servlet.http. These were the two packages from which the classes are used to be used by the servlet. Now they can ask you what are the HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response, as I told you about in the starting as well. Here the HTTP servlet request and the HTTP servlet response are the two commonly used interfaces, and interfaces from the javax.servlet.http package. And the HTTP servlet request enables the servlet to read the data from the HTTP request, that is your HTTP servlet response that enables the servlet to write the data to the HTTP response. Now the next question is that list the two commonly and used exceptions used by the servlet. So the two commonly used basic exceptions of the servlet are, that is your IO exception and the servlet exception as well. The next question is what is the difference between the servlet context and the servlet config. The servlet context defines a set of methods that is servlet used to communicate with the servlet container, and the servlet context object is contained with the servlet config object during the initialization of the servlet of a web server that provides it to the servlet. And the servlet config object is created after a servlet is instantiated, and its default constructor is read. It is created to pass the initialization information to the servlet as well. Now the state the use of the servlet context object. So the servlet context object that can be used to communicate with the servlet container, and when one servlet container object is created, then it can be accessed by all the servlet in the web container. And for instance, if you want to share some data to all the servlet, then you can share this data using the servlet context object as well. The next we have is they can ask you what are the two methods that are used to send a request to the servlet, and the first is your HTTP GET and the second is your HTTP POST. HTTP GET and HTTP POST. And for that, after that, these were the two methods that are used to send a request to the server. Now they compare servlet with CGI. So for that, Servlets have the following advantages over the CGI, and that is for the the first is that there is no need to generate a separate processor for serving each request in case of the servlet. The second is the CGI program needs to be loaded and started on each CGI request. On the other hand, servlets stay in the memory while the serving the request. And the third is that the servlet that can be run by the servlet engine, hence secure use of the untrusted servlet that can be done, and that the servlet prove to be more secure than CGI. Now after that, they can ask you what is the role of the web container in server side programming. And for that, the web container is the J2EE complement implementations, which provides an environment for the servlet and JSP to run. And for that example is your Tomcat is a web container. And the another, they can ask you what is the difference between the servlet context and a servlet config. So they had asked you about the 2 marks question paper as well. So both the servlet context and the servlet config are available in the javax.servlet.abstract package, and that is the servlet config object is created one per servlet class, and while the servlet context object is used to entire used by the entire web application. And the second is that in order to create a servlet config object for the first time, we should give the request explicitly, and the servlet context object will be available even before giving the first request as well. The next they can ask you is how does the JVM execute a servlet compared with a regular Java class. With that, a servlet is not an invoked directly throughout a main method, and in fact the class is loaded and run by the servlet container. An example is your Tomcat. After that, what happens if you add a main method to a servlet? So there is no main method in a servlet, because the servlet executes according to the life cycle method and the servlet container. And even if we write main method in a servlet, it is of no use, because the execution of the servlet is based on the life cycle method as well. The next they can ask you is to consider a scenario in which the user are accessing the servlet instance, and according among which of the user is called a destroy method, what happens to the rest 3 users. So here if 4 users are accessing the servlet instance, and if one user called destroy method, then the thread which is calling destroyer with this will be terminated, and the other threads will not be terminated. The next is they can ask you is your to select is Java select servlet is a Java class, and then when why there is no constructor in servlet, and can we write the constructor in the servlet, justify your answer. So here you can justify that the servlet contain the init method, and which itself act as a constructor. So yes, since syntactically we can write our own constructor in the servlet instead of using the init method. And if you write parameterized constructor, then it is necessary to write a zero argument constructor, but servlet container still will only call your zero argument constructor, and we cannot have an access to the servlet config or servlet context as well. The another they can ask you is in the related of the differentiate do get and do post. So do get in do get the method, the parameter are appended to the URL and sent along with their header information, and do post in the post parameter are sent in the separate line in the body as well. So how you delete a session in servlet? So deleting the servlet session in servlet is using the session timeout. The session can be deleted. There are the 2 methods for the session timeout. The first is that using the deployment descriptor, and the session timeout period that can be set, and the timeout of the session that does not last long. For example, for that we have your is your session config, and that is your session timeout 15, and then of course session timeout, and then the session config जो open किया था that will close that. So the another one is you're using the method of set max inactive interval and the session timer that can be set manually. That is, for that you have to use is like http session session equals to request dot get session, that is your session dot set max inactive interval, that is 15 16. Okay, so this is how you can use these two methods, and in the above cases the session will be killed by the container if the client does not make any request after 15 minutes. Okay, so this is what they can ask you, and now after that gone into the detail that they can ask you. The moreover there are many questions that they can ask you and related to that the first they can ask you is the scripting components of the JSP, and for that we have is there are the two types of the scripting element, that is your JSP element and a template a text, and the template text that can be scripted code such as like HTML, WML, XML, or a simple plain text, and various JSP element that can be action tag like custom tag, GSTL elements, and JSP elements are responsible for generating the dynamic content as well. The next question they can ask you is you explain the brief about Java scriptlet, and of course the Java scriptlets allows the developers to embed the Java code in the GSP page, and the syntax for the scriptlet that can they had used your was like in between the tag any Java code, and then of course this. So here that these tags are used for embedding the Java code here. What is template text in the JSP? The template text in the JSP that can be scripted code and such as like HTML, WML, XML, and the simple plain text. What is JSP element? The JSP element are the action tags, custom tag, GSTL libraries element, and these elements are responsible for generating the dynamic content as well. And after that they can ask you what is a page directive. The page directive is a type of a directive element that is used which we can specify the language used by the JSP. For example, like we will go ahead with like a page language equals to Java. And what is the use of the content type in JSP? That is, the content type is used to specify the MIME type, and it can be as written as like a page language Java content type equals to text slash HTML, and that in this statement it denotes that the content are the text and the content contains the HTML script. So what is the plugin action in a JSP? So here the plugin action in JSP is used to embed an applet or a Java bean, for example. That is they can use just like JSP plug in type equals to applet that specifies the applet in the embedded the Java JSP code here. Now they can ask you what are the implicit objects. The implicit objects are predefined variable that is used to access the request and application data, and these objects are used by the scripting element, and various implicit objects are like application config, request, response out, and of course the response out page, and page content context sessions and exceptions as well. These work comes under the implicit object. And for here that is your how can we avoid scriptlet code in the JSP. So using the Java bean or a custom tag that can be used to instead of the scriptlet code. Can we define a class inside a JSP page? Yes, we can define a class JSP page within the tags that we had used, and but defining a class inside a JSP page is not a good practice. Now they can ask you the another question, and that is your that can one JSP and a servlet extends another servlet or a JSP. Justify your answer. So yes, one of the JSP and the servlet that can extends another servlet or a JSP. So one servlet can extend another and servlet class, and using the keyword extends, and which while JSP extends another JSP or a servlet class using the page directive support. For example that is my page.example, and that extends. So where my package is as the name of that package, and example as the class that has to be inherited. Now the next they can ask you is what are the differences include directive and GSP include tag action tag that we have used it even though. And for that that is the differences is to be as follows. Like the first we have is your include directive include the file of at a translation time, that is when the GSP get converted into the equivalent service, whereas the include action includes the file at runtime. And if the included file is changed but not the GSP, when the including it at then that change will reflect only when we use it. So in the regard of it, in the terms they can ask you these type of a question here. And after that with regard of it, that they are using to include tag and the changes that will reflect if you are using the include directive as a GSP as charge, so it will not be translated for the request processing, and hence the charges will not be reflect. The third they can ask you is that is a syntax differences, that is include directive, and that is include file and file name, and whereas the include action has like this that like just be include page file name. And when using the include action tag, we can also pass the parameters to be included page by using the param action tag, but in the case of the included directive it is not possible. Now we'll go ahead and this is the end of web technology, क्योंकि इसमें हमने web technology में unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 and unit 5 आज हम 4 and unit 5 हम आज complete कर चुके हैं. And अगर आपने हमारा class नहीं देखा है, you can go through with the playlist. You will be subscribed and like our channel. Thanks for all those subscribers, those who had subscribed our channel, because we had reached the 2K target. Now we will go on ahead forward, and that is your unit 1. We had discussed about it, that is your introduction and the web development strategies, history and the web internet, protocols governing web, writing a web protocol, connecting to the internet, introduction to the internet services and tools, introduction to the client server computing, core Java, introduction, operator, data type, variable, array, method, classes, inheritance, package and interfaces, exception handling, multi-threaded programming, input-output Java, applet, string handling and event handling, multi-threaded programming, input-output Java, applet, string handling, event handling, introduction to AWT controls, layout managers as well, that we had covered up in unit 1. And now in the unit 2 we had covered up the web page designing, that is your HTML, list, table, page frames, forms, CSS, document type definition, XML and DTD, XML schemas, objects model, presenting and using the XML and using XML processors, DOM stack, and of course your dynamic HTML. Then we had started with unit 3, and that is your scripting and networking. स्क्रिप्टिंग में हमने किया है जावास्क्रिप्ट, इंट्रोडक्शन, डॉक्यूमेंट, फॉर्म्स, स्टेटमेंट, functions, object, introduction to Ajax. And in the networking part we had done about it, like init addresses, init address, factory method, instance method, TCP IP, client socket, URL connection, TCP IP, server socket, datagram. And in unit 4, that what we had completed. In the unit 4 we had started with enterprises Java Bean. We are preparing a class to be a Java Bean, creating a Java Bean properties, types of beans, stateful session beans, stateless session beans, and of course the entity bean. And J2B, that is JDBC, that is Java database connectivity, merging data from the multiple tables, that is the joining, manipulating the database with JDBC, prepared statement, transaction processing, stored procedure as well. Now for the unit 5 we had started here, that is we had done servlet and Java server page, that is your JSP. In the servlet overview and architecture, inheritance servlet and a servlet lifecycle, handling HTTP GET request, handling HTTP POST request, redirecting the request to the other resources, and that is your session tracking cookies, session tracking with the HTTP session as well. And for the Java server page JSP, that is introduction, Java server page overview of first Java server page example, implicit objects, scripting, standard actions, directive, custom tag libraries as well. So first of all, it's a huge request to all the viewers, please go through with the subscribe button and please like, share and subscribe our channel, so that many and maximum people can get the information at once, and even though you can also enjoy the video as well. And please support us as you had supported before, and thanks for subscribing us. And thank you, hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and give a suggestion on the comment box. Thank you.